Hey, JC here for retirecheap.asia. I want to make a posting. This is real important. It's actually 2016 now, even though we're already into February. And I've been doing this now, trying to show people that are on a fixed limited income or a budget, if they want to be a RIP or a retiree in paradise, how they can get more life for less money. And one of the ways is to move Southeast Asia. Now, there's a lot of ways you can actually get more life for less money. You can cut back and budget back home. You can make more money. I've always said, forget making more money. It's hard to do, especially these days. Just spend less. So that's what my videos and this whole channel and everything's been about. But people keep saying, be real, JC, be real. You're not telling the truth. You know, this is bad and that's bad and everything's bad. Well, and I agree with them in their view, those things are bad. So you're probably asking, JC, well, don't things bother you over in Thailand? Sure, things bother me everywhere. There's no utopia, and there's a few things that sort of get on my nerves more than anything else. So let me show you those, and then I'll be right back. Hold on. So here's a couple of things. I can cover two of them in one shot here. Two of the things that bother me about living in Thailand is, one is whenever somebody thinks that their music, everybody wants to hear their music. And they really pump these in charm and stuff. They'll go down with buses with loudspeakers and you'll be blaring the music and thinking that everybody loves the same music. The other one are the small motorbikes, like these guys here with the custom bikes that actually have, they've modified the muffler system. So even though it's a small bike, it's got this loud muffler system. My thoughts about that is no matter how small the kitten roars, it's still a kitten. So there you go, two things that I don't like about Thailand. Another thing that I don't like about Thailand that I can show you and demonstrate to you is the advertising, the cars that go by, the pickups, they're outfitted with signs and loudspeakers. Now I've got a microphone on me so you don't hear how loud that is, but it's really loud. And so it's not good, especially at traffic lights when there's a child sitting on a motorbike or something next to one of these. Here, I'm going to unplug the microphone so you can hear how loud this is.
โชคลาภชัยสิงเอี้ยและเทพเจ้าผู้คุ้มครองดวงชะตาไทยสัวเอี้ยฤกษ์ดีปีนี้ตรงกับคืนวันพฤหัสบดีที่30มกราคมเวลา
So, when we're talking about another thing I don't like in Thailand, this is one of them. This really gets to me, especially as having been a tax-paying citizen here, a tax-paying, not citizen, but a tax-paying person living here. Businesses, a lot of businesses, happens a lot in Chiang Mai. They put up a barricade and say, you can't park there, it's their space. Now people pay taxes for the roads. The roads are for people. So this thing about, oh, you can't park here, this really gets to me. And they do this all over the place. I wouldn't even buy anything from a business that does that, thinking that they own the street. They don't own the street, and I'm surprised they're allowed to do this. Now this business in Chiang Mai has been doing this for 10 years, 15 years, as long as I can remember. And here's another one, just on this side. If you turn around and come here, this is for pickup. You can't park here. There's another sign down there, no parking. There's all these parking, you can't park. The businesses think they own the streets. This I don't like. But hey, it goes along with the territory, right? And I guess they can pay somebody or something to allow them to do that, because you think the police would come and say, you can't put up a barricade here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 parking spaces. And if you've ever been around here and you own a car, you know parking is precious here. So that's something, another thing I don't like. One thing I'll balance this out a little bit with is one thing I do like that's been a change in Thailand is before there only used to be squat toilets. Now, especially like this is a PTT gas station along the highway, they got PTT gas stations, and as you can see they actually have a toilet that has a sit-down, a bathroom with a sit-down toilet. Now they actually have a sticker that says for pregnant women, for handicapped people, and for old people. So I've been requesting them to change that sticker and put Farong on there too, but then some of us will actually fit into old people as well. So here you go. You actually got a toilet where you can sit down instead of squat, which is a good change for Thailand. Good thing for my knees, that's for sure. So there you go. Those are the things that bother me. Now, let's talk just for a little bit, just for a moment here. Because I've done videos, especially on YouTube, about beliefs and values and rules and things like that, and how important it is to know what those are for you. If you're looking for utopia, I don't think you should go anywhere. I think you should stay exactly where you are and figure out how to be your best friend. You know, the third patriarch of China said, the way is easy for those that have no preferences. And to a certain degree, I agree with that, but I do believe you have to have preferences, just not be attached to them. Because if you don't have preferences, you won't get out of bed in the morning. You have no goals, no aspirations. So you need to have preferences to set you in a direction, have a goal. But then you got to have beliefs and values that allow you to be flexible enough to move with what comes at you. So back to the thing about things bothering me. Things bother me back in the United States. Things bother me here. You know that saying, the grass is greener. The grass isn't greener, it's just a different shade of green. And you got to always remember that. There's no better or worse except what you decide to be better or worse. So what I always suggest is actually find a place, think about what your values and what your beliefs are, and then sort of experiment, travel around. It might not be Thailand, it might be Laos, it might be Vietnam, it might be a Latin American country. But go and submerge yourself in the culture and see if you mesh with it, if it's symbiotic to the way you live. I was going to choose, when I first started thinking about moving and relocating to another country, it was between Brazil and Thailand at that time. And they both had the criteria that I was looking for to move, which are like the yin and yang of the world. One is very reserved and laid back and they don't wear their emotions on their sleeve. That's Asia. Where Latin American countries, especially Brazil, is the opposite. You get to hear what people feel and think, even if you don't want to hear it. But anyway, the food was good in both places. Back then it was a great value for the US dollar. People were real friendly. Now Latin American countries, the crime is higher. But anyway, back to this thing about, you know, things being better or worse. There is no better or worse. I mean, people talk about, oh, you know, there's a military dictatorship there. Well, the prime minister that got exiled, he was a dictator too. He took people that were in journalism and actually deported them out of the country because they said things he didn't like. You know, there were drug dealers they were given no trials and stuff. All this was reported in the news. So look that up. I'm not saying I know that happened. I'm just saying it was reported in the news. So anyway, but back in the United States, you look up on Google right now, you look up U.S. Marshals, 7 U.S. Marshals arrest man for failure to pay his student loan. There was a guy, this was just in the news, it was reported in the New York Times and a couple other places, about a man who back in 1987 took out a student loan, and there was a $1,500 outstanding balance. And actually, he said he was outside and a truck pulled up to his house and a guy got out and he was sort of freaked out about it, so he went inside. Well, a few hours later, 7 U.S. Marshals showed up armed with semi-automatic rifles and arrested him. And he says, what is this about? And they said, you know what it's about? And he says, I have no clue. And they said, it's about the unpaid student loan, which was $1,500 from 1987. He said, why didn't you just send me a letter? But anyway, you know, they threw him down, cuffed him and everything, and this is going on now in the States. I mean, there's all sorts of strange things going on that when you say, is it better or worse there or here? It isn't better or worse. There's crap happening everywhere in the world right now. It's just, what kind of crap do you like the smell of? Anyway, but this is the way. Don't think that it's going to solve all your problems. You're going to bring problems with you. So work on yourself, become your own best friend before you move anywhere. But those are some of the things that get on my nerves, you know. The whole thing about, and another one that I didn't mention there was now, and this probably is happening all over the world, another thing that sort of is really strange to me is people go out with their friends or their family, and everybody sits at the table and they want to eat, and it's a social event. It's always been, Thailand's a social country. People go out and eat together. But now everybody's sitting at a table, and I'll show you pictures why I'm saying this, because I pick up my camera, it just amazes me. And everybody's on their smartphone or tablet. Nobody's even talking to each other. Nobody's interacting. Now this could be a global problem. I'm not sure, because I don't leave the country that often and go back to the West. But this is another thing that I think is changing the world and the way we live, is these social networks where people are now socializing not with one another, but socializing through devices instead of in person. So that's another thing that sort of bothers me as well. But like I said, that might not be just Thailand might not have a monopoly on that. But anyway, just wanted to pass on this information because people say, you know, you're not being real, you're not being fair. Well, I wanted to go ahead and say, yeah, there's a few things here that bother me. Now, can I live with them? Yeah, you know. And then, can I change them? No. So if there's something you can't change, you either got to live with it and learn how to live with it, or move on. And there's so many great things here that it meshes with who I am as a human being. So I feel more comfortable here than moving to a place that has different problems. Those different problems in other places are worse than the problems we have here. And anyway, another thing to keep in mind is all this goes through cycles. There were things here in Thailand 10 years ago that I didn't like that aren't even here anymore. They don't even do that, whatever it is. So things change. So if you don't like something, also realize it's like the weather. If you don't like something, just wait. It'll change. So there you go. I hope all this is helpful. You know, I've done videos now about prices and places to go and everything like that, and I'm going to continue to do a lot of those. But now there's so many people coming to live over here and stuff. This is kind of information of how to deal with living in a foreign culture, and it might not just be Thailand, but any place. I want to pass on little things that I've realized over the years that I've come to understand, and that are real helpful when it comes to integrating in a new culture and a new environment. So I hope all this is helpful. Remember, when it comes to what bothers you and what doesn't, even then, there's always an option. See you, JC out.